Good morning. It's the 8 a.m. Coffee Podcast. It's most of Darth Vader over there. What's going on, Mr. Moody?
Nothing. Nothing. I think we're both late, which is nice.
I think I was
Mm.
definitely way later than you this morning.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. Woke up super late. Man, there's subtitles on our video for some reason. That's
There
crazy.
are, and you know what? Please don't take them away. We can talk about that in a second too,
Okay, let's keep them. They're
because
doing a
I have
great
to
job.
really, yeah, because I really have to start watching what I say about my mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Did
she read everything.
did she get onto you for something? Because I really want to know what it was.
No, 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 no. She was like, "I understand what you're saying." That's how I think my mom talks.
Oh,
By the way, she has a voice in my head that's not really
oh,
hers because
oh,
she doesn't sound like
interesting.
that at all.
Yeah, yeah,
Although deaf people yell. I just need you to know that. They yell a lot,
yeah.
especially when you make them mad at them. So, what's been going on in your life, Asher? Because my last 2 days have been quite eventful.
Man, mine have been busier than usual because I've had some students telling me that they want to like drop for the summer, and then I was like, oh shoot, I don't need anybody dropping for the summer. But
Yeah,
I've just put more time into reaching out and trying to get some referrals and stuff. So basically, business things, but nothing
business,
nothing
business.
too crazy or anything. Has it been
Nothing
crazy
too
for you?
crazy. Yeah, first off, I have a new purchase because I
Oh,
don't
I
I
did
don't often
see.
talk about my purchases.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but I have this, which is
Peloton.
you can barely see it. No, I did not buy a Peloton. I bought a better one than a Peloton.
Nice.
But I
Nice.
did buy a spin bike, but because I stepped on the scale and weighed way too much
Yeah.
and decided to go back to the things that I did to lose weight, which was cardio in the morning, some at night,
Mm.
some working out, all that stuff. And I'm that person, and I know we're going to get flooded with this. I know we are. It's not about working out. It's about what you eat.
Sure, sure.
I'm aware, 100% aware. Also, very shockingly, I am certified nationally as a nutritionist because
Dude,
it's part of my culinary. Yeah, it's part of my culinary degree.
that's really
It's
cool.
everyone's culinary degree. You get certified in nutrition. It's
Okay,
just
okay.
one of those things. It's not like it's just built into it. It's like a minor. Okay,
Can I just tell you
like
real quick with a music degree, I am certified for nothing.
nice. But so I know how to eat healthy. I just choose not to.
Hey,
It has
hands.
nothing to do with anything else. So I went back on the plan, which I lost. What? I got down to about 180, and I started at like 305, 310. I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact weight.
Yeah.
It was just barely over 300. So I lost like 120 pounds in 14 months.
Dang.
Like not like, hey, I lost it in 3 months or 6 months or any of that. Like I
Right.
lost a pound and a half, 2 pounds a week, all that. And then, I'm older than you. So let me speak to you as your elder.
Okay.
But
We'll receive.
I had an uncle die at 56. My dad just recently passed away. We just had a new baby, all that. And mortality is something that I am not afraid of. Like it does not bother me. I know it's coming. I don't know when,
Mm.
all that. But let's not speed up the process because, as our friend Mr. Vanderchuck would say, you're probably going to live till you're 80 or 90 years old. Well, according to every scale that I look at right now, I would have lived to about 55
Yeah.
because my heart was working harder than it was because it's encapsulated in fat. And I'm not trying to get into all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I love it though, by the way.
Belly fat shows up around your organs, which makes your organs work harder.
Hmm.
That's why it's such a big thing. And that, when I say belly fat, that's just where that's where my body decides to have fat.
Right.
So I've been on the bike for couple of days now. I think I'm doing great though. I keep walking by Ashley. I'm like, I'm so attractive to you, right? I've worked out twice. But and it's one of those things. We're really, really careful what we say to the kids because it's not about vanity and looking better. It's about being healthier.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that.
Well, I was going to say that could be equally scary because if you start talking about health and stuff and mortality, like, is that going to be scary for kids to hear? Like, if I don't do this, I'm going to die.
No, well, I mean, I have, they talk about, look, man, I've been asked to lose weight by multiple people over, like, look, the last time I really worked out was April 7th of 2013. So it's the day I ran the marathon.
Nice.
I went, yeah, I'm done. Just hung it up.
Pinnacle,
I'm like, yeah, this is it. But when you have an almost 1-year-old and realize that you will die when he is 14, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your why? And this is what we talk about a lot of times. Like, what's your why to change? Well, my why right now is I'm going to die. That is my why. If I don't change something drastically right now, I'm going to die.
It's all over.
Not tomorrow, but whatever.
But sooner than you want to, and sooner than Gary's going to die.
I would enjoy living into my 80s and 90s. I want to be that fiery old man in the grocery store not wearing his mask.
I thought you were going to say like not wearing pants or something.
No, I've already done that once.
Okay, just once. One and done on not wearing pants at the grocery store.
No, it was a McDonald's and it was on campus. So
mine was still just Fleming's, which I know I've told you that story. But what happened at McDonald's? Was there substance involved here?
No,
Nice.
completely sober.
It wasn't for me either. What a world.
Between breakfast and lunch, you never know when McDonald's breakfast ends. Is it 10 or 10:30?
Yeah.
So I went in at 10:30 with a pair of shoes and a shirt on. Because that's the only thing they said that you're required to wear. And stood there swaying back and forth trying to order.
Did they still serve you?
Sausage biscuit? No. I was asked not to come back.
Oh. I probably would have said, just pull your shirt down, sir, please. Wear a longer shirt, sir.
Yeah, and then we either have battery or alternator issues with the food truck.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Oh, okay, so you don't know yet?
I hope so. Well, so it starts and the engine runs, okay, when hooked up to a power pack. A couple of days ago, it felt like it was slowing down. Now, and I am not a mechanic. Like, I know nothing about like, I don't know how. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a mechanic. None of that. So I got to the bottom of our road the other day going somewhere, and it kind of died a little bit. And then I restarted it. And luckily, the neighborhood was just a mile away. Drove it home, no problem. Yesterday, I got in it and just started it before we were supposed to go anywhere, just because I got a bad feeling. Like, I got a gut, like, hey, we need to check this out real quick.
Yeah.
But it started right up. And I was like, okay, here we go. Nice. Maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe the battery needed to recharge. Because I know battery, I know how it works. I just don't know how to fix it.
Right.
So started up yesterday. Everything's fine. And then it's kind of puttering down the road, right? Mm-hmm. And then hit some gas, and it revved up and went, and we got it to the gas station. I thought maybe it's a gas thing, like fuel injector cleaner kind of thing, because I know a lot of times put that in it and it fixes it.
I know what those things are. We don't have to explain it for everyone, but I'm
the little jar of stuff that says fuel injector cleaner, and you just put in your gas tank.
That's what I was gonna say. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Got some gas and did that, and then went to restart the truck, and it wouldn't start at the gas pump.
Oof.
Okay, come and get jumped off. Everything's working fine. Driving down the road, we go to about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the road, and it dies in the middle lane of Hardin Valley at Pellissippi red light.
That's a scary place for anyone who doesn't know. There's a little bit of traffic there.
So a lot of traffic. Well, a guy pulls up next to me in a truck, and just my battery happens to be outside the door, and I'm like holding jumper cables, like help. Really nice guy, great guy. I owe him lunch. Pulls his truck up and sits with me for a good 10 minutes trying to get this thing started. Won't start. Pretty sure I flooded the engine. Cop pulls up behind us. Boo. And I don't have the best luck with cops pulling up behind me. Just gonna put that out there. Like,
what's your feeling when a cop pulls up? Is it like,
I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail every time. Ashley, and we can go back to this in a second,
Sure,
but Ashley rolls in laughter because I drive like a grandma. I drive the exact speed limit. I make sure I obey every traffic law. I am as paranoid as they come for no reason. No reason at all.
That's what I was going to ask.
like-
Is that just in the truck though?
That's in everything.
Wow.
Every vehicle. It takes us a long time to get to Orlando because I will not drive over 70. Will not.
Whoa.
I let her drive for like an hour, and she's gone the amount of distance I have in like an hour and 45 minutes. Knee up on the seat, driving like the crazy woman with her hand like at the bottom of the steering wheel. Steering wheel's here.
Right.
85, 90 down the road. I am like 70 cruise control, hands at 10 and 2.
Right.
Right hand lane. I'm not in the left.
Yep.
Right hand lane. But the reason I was in the left hand lane or the middle lane was because I had to get the propane.
Uh-huh.
But seriously, truck dies. And if you know what this intersection looks like, you understand what I'm saying. Also, let's remember the fact that we are not pushing the food truck out of the middle of the road. It is there.
Uh-huh.
Cop pulls up behind, and then cop jumps out and goes, "Hey man, I was going to help, but there's a child abduction case in West Knoxville I got to go to." And I'm like, seems a little more important.
Yeah.
Like seems a little more important.
How
So
crazy
he
that
gets
he
in.
stopped just to tell you that.
Well, he got out and got the call as he was stepping out of the car. Like he was
That
he was
makes
there
sense.
to help me. THP goes, because he's at the other side, like at the perpendicular, and ends up on the interstate and goes.
Wait, what's
They're gone.
THP?
Tennessee Highway Patrol.
Okay.
Known in the business as
Trooper.
the Brown Clowns. The Brown Clowns. They all have nicknames for each other. I don't know if you know
Derogatory. Is that
It
like
is
an endearing?
derogatory. You know this with the amount of times you've been in intake if you listen to the police officers. So
The Brown
Anyways.
Clowns. Okay.
so anyways, at this intersection there is never not traffic. Can we agree with this?
I
Yes.
have not been there in a while, but yes.
So I'm looking, and it's a good mile. You can see cars about a mile away.
Mhm.
In the distance, there's nobody coming. So I'm like, hey, this thing's not starting. Clearly, I'm getting it to the side of the road. Guy unhooks, helps me direct. I pop it in neutral and roll backwards and parallel park onto the shoulder of the road.
See, that terrifies me.
In a food truck with no power, backing up, and cars are now coming at us from the back. They are not moving. They are not slowing down. They are continuing to try to drive up my rear end on the way up there. I got honked at. I got yelled at. I got cussed at for trying to get their car out of the middle of the road. That makes no sense. Carnes Fire Department had seen us.
It's quarantine time, but there's still traffic there, I'm sure. Like that's a busy spot.
They are not staying home out in the valley.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's not hitting white suburbia out here. That's what they believe. Anyways, not saying that it's not diverse out here, but it's not.
It's mostly white suburbia for sure.
100%. It drives me nuts. I am not. Anyways, so I know I'm drawing the story out long. Carnes Fire Department comes with a battery charger and a generator, because I was like, why don't you just jump me off from the truck? And they're like, we have to lift the entire cab up to get to the engine in the truck.
Oh, interesting.
Greatest people in the world. Now I owe 3 more people lunch.
They thought of everything.
So they got the battery charged, but by the time we figured it out, Cedar Bluff Towing had gotten there. Shout outs, Cedar Bluff Towing. They did a great job. It was not, it was expensive, but it was not as expensive as you would think it was because they came with like the semi that tows thing. Like it was no joke.
Dang.
Like probably in the truck with one of the biggest good old boys ever, Eugene. Shout out to Eugene. He is a regular off of the food truck. Did not know it until he dropped me off, by the way. Because he was like, yeah, dude, if you got some hoolie up and he got some hoolie chicken up in there, I'll just trade you that for this tow. I was like, what?
Did you actually do that? Did you wheel and deal?
No.
Did you do a little barter system?
No, I would have, but no, I was out of propane.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I was on my way to get propane. Took it to Fisher Tire. Love Fisher Tire. Some of the family members, or they may be owners of it now, are
maybe both.
Friends with me on the Face Space. I went to high school with them.
Nepotism.
So
that's where we go to. It's a really great place. Not a sponsor yet.
You know, they don't have to be a sponsor. Like they are the nicest.
Just shout them out. Go for it.
They, you know, like I had to get a new tire for the truck specifically, right? And you can imagine how much those are.
I can't imagine because they're expensive for a Honda Civic. Like,
dude, I pull up and he's like, "Man, you only need this brand and this kind." He's like, "It's $112, dude. Have a good day."
That's what I like about them because they're not just trying to upsell.
No, they don't. Well, but think about it. Whatever's going on with this car right now, where did I take it?
Yeah,
you know,
true.
So it's currently sitting at Fisher Tire in a location of Fisher Tire. But then like I had to leave the generator on to go get a cooler to get all the food out of the truck because there was, you know, $600 worth of product in there.
That was my next question. There, do you just leave it on?
No, I took everything out.
Yeah,
When I'm on there, I realized there's 2 iPads. I hadn't done a cash deposit in Lord knows how long because all I had were 20s and 50s in there.
Right. But it's not there now, right?
No.
You got the cash.
I got that out. Dude, I got in the car and Ashley goes, "Hey, I got a rubber band for you." I'm like, I have a thing about rubber band banks and shoe boxes and paper bags.
What's the thing?
Rubber bands are only in increments of $2,000. So if you have a band, it's $2,000. Some people would say a band is $1,000, but those are low level players. A brown paper bag is $10K and a shoebox is $250,000. So if you stack 100, if you stack 20s in a Nike shoebox and an Air Force One shoebox, it'll be enough 20s for $250,000 in there.
Okay. That's
just
cool that you know. Cool that you know. I thought a brown bag was just malt liquor.
No, but I am not going back. I ain't going back.
Going back to
I'm
what?
never to pokey. I ain't never going back to jail.
Oh, where did this come from? This is Paul's crazy mind.
Came from the officer pulling up behind me and me freaking out.
And like, if you had a shoebox full of $250,000, that probably looks a little sketchy.
If you have anything over $10,000 in cash, you have to show why. So, very interesting in the line of work that I do because I have gone to the bank with $18,000 in $1 bills before, especially for the thing that I did. You have to also remember that it was all cash flow and cash based business.
Yeah. I'm going to switch places with you for a second, go on a tangent because on TikTok, there's a guy who puts rubber bands around watermelons until they explode. And
it is amazing.
You said rubber bands. That's all I could think about.
But then, you know, and then I swear I'm gonna let you talk. Okay.
Oh yeah, Jonathan said hi once again. It's all Paul.
But then we're talking about, you know, you could look at that as a negative, right? So the tow truck driver flat out said, and I don't know if he seemed like he was having a bad day when he got there.
Yeah.
And by the time it was over, he was laughing and joking and all that. That's right. Good. But it's like one of those things of, you know, I know we don't talk about God a lot on here, and I know we don't talk a lot about Jesus, but we're both believers and all that. But I think that bad things are allowed to happen to see how you'll go through it,
Sure.
to see what you will be. Because nobody in any of that time did I know if they read the Bible, knew the Bible, whatever, but they knew that I was a Christ follower. And this isn't why I did it. This is just who I am as a
By
person.
your love.
And that, I'm happy in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the worst thing that's ever going to happen to me. It's not the worst thing that has, and it's not the worst thing that ever will.
Sure.
If it's an alternator, we're talking now, granted, this is why you have a savings account. We're talking 500 bucks max,
Right.
right? And when they started it up and it ran, they were like, we know it's not a fuel injector or a starter or anything like that. That would be major problems.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's either a battery or alternator. And honestly, if it's your alternator, we got to figure out the wiring. And if it's something in the wiring to the engine, all that. If it's just a battery, I just got it replaced last year and it's under warranty. And I just
get a
owe
new one,
labor
bro.
to get in and out. Like, I mean, and that's what I mean now. And then took the opportunity to come home to spend a little more time. We canceled tonight. We went ahead and canceled yesterday for tonight. Just shout out to food trucks. Stop canceling an hour before you're supposed to be there. But we called the neighborhood and said, hey, look, this is what's going on. We're so sorry. And of course they were like, oh, that sucks. Are you okay? Do you need anything?
That's cool.
And then if it gets fixed today, we'll go on Thursday.
Tell them to go to Fisher Tire.
But if not, Fisher told me I could set up in their parking lot.
I was about to say,
They're like,
get
"You
some
can set up in
business.
the parking lot." But like full service barbecues right down the road, right? And they are there like 20 hours a day because barbecue takes forever. And they're like, hey, I mean, like they can see the truck,
Right.
so they're keeping an eye on the truck for me. It's locked up. There's an alarm on it. I mean, like. But also, and I hate to say this, but at the end of the day, what if somebody does loot it? What if somebody does destroy it?
Well, it sounds like you got all the good stuff out of it, so I wouldn't even bother.
Well, but what if somebody decides to come by and, tag it, spray paint it? Well, that's why you have insurance. Like, I'm not trying to be that
Just
preachy
get a graffiti artist and like keep it going. That's what I would do.
Well, hey, on Finney's, I was going to do just graffiti trailer. I was going to actually pay a graffiti artist to do the logo. But this is why you do what you're supposed to do. It's pretty simple. Like, you have insurance on vehicles for a reason.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with that? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like I have zero concern right now. Like,
You're saying like as a business, that's why you do what you do.
As a
or
business,
what
as a
supposed
human, I'm not worried. I have no concerns at this moment.
Or do you mean just as a human?
As a human.
Sure. Okay. I'm tracking with you now. I get it.
However, it did allow me to troll a lot of people with the masks things. I said that I had to put a mask on the truck, but I was not required to wear one.
And they said?
Everybody laughed.
Oh, nice. I'm not trying to flex on you too much, but I did change the batteries in both of our Honda Civics. So, I mean, maybe you could figure that out for the truck.
When I tell you I don't know anything about vehicles, I legitimately know nothing. Nothing. I know about as much about vehicles as I do nuclear engineering. How about that? Is that a word? Do those words go together?
I know one nuclear engineer, and I can definitely vouch for that. Don't know nothing.
So now that I've gone on and on, as Jonathan Darling would say, has talked forever.
Forever. Does that guy actually like you? Do you think?
I don't know whoever it is. Who? Jonathan Darling?
Yeah, the guy we're talking about. Do you think he actually likes you?
I thought you said Everett. I was like, I don't know who Everett is. I love Jonathan. Jonathan's my boy.
Yeah.
Jonathan should like me a lot. I gave him a very nice gift.
Ooh.
And by a nice gift, I mean a TV I could have pawned for $40. I don't even know what's going on in the chat.
Oh, it's dude, it's buck wild. It's crazy.
Riveting.
I wouldn't say riveting, but it's pretty wild. No, Don Richardson is calling me out for using all the buzzwords like tracking and flexed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Don. I love Don.
Don's about to record a little bass on a metal track that I recorded on a couple
Is
weeks
he
ago.
really? I love that. I love that about people. Their hidden, not hidden talents, but talents that
Maybe not prevalent.
no, I don't even, I wouldn't even say prevalent. I would say that you just come out of nowhere. Like you're like, boom, what? You could do like people that can sing amazing, right?
Yeah,
And you would never know it because they never sing, right?
sure.
But all of a sudden
Not me,
you're
by
like,
the way.
hey, but I mean like all of a sudden they start busting out of tune in the middle of nowhere and you're like, what is that? You know?
Start singing some Whitney. That's been a trend on TikTok I saw before I changed up my algorithm or, or whatever, is people like setting up the camera and their mom's in the background and the caption is like, she doesn't know I can sing. It's like, really? Really? So stupid.
Your mother knows you can sing or not. Except my mother. She thinks I sound wonderful.
Is she going to get mad at you for saying that?
No, she knows all these jokes. Listen,
Okay.
I posted a TikTok of us having a FaceTime of me talking about her water pitcher. It's in the shape of a chicken, and when you pour the water or the tea out, it comes out the mouth, and it looks like it's vomiting
Well, that's
tea
fun.
into your cup. And I refuse. She's had it since I was 8 years old. I refuse to drink if she pours me something out of that. And my stepfather thought it was funny because he was like trying to give it to me. So
Nice. Nice.
no, I haven't been on the. I posted 3 things yesterday, but I haven't really posted anything in a long time.
That's a lot of content. I think Gary Vaynerchuk would be proud of you for posting 3 things in one day.
It was cutting an onion, cutting a pepper, and sautéing them. All 3 separate videos,
Nice.
just to see if I still get whatever. I think I still got like 600 views, like 100 likes on all 3 of them.
What's that supposed to mean,
And-
Don? He said, all right, I've got to be a grown-up and run a barbershop. He's saying we're not grown-ups? Huh? I don't
Well,
think, I don't
or you
think
could
I
be-
am, just for the record.
Or you could be relevant and have somebody run it for you.
Oh. Speaking of flex or one of those other buzzwords,
No, all jokes aside, Don does an amazing job. I love that. I mean, when I say I love that barbershop, I love that barbershop.
It's
I
so
really
cool.
do.
so cool. Saints and Sailors. We don't shout them
Saints
out
and
enough.
Sailors,
But
they're
we do shout them
so
out
nice.
probably more than anyone else in Knoxville.
Well, and the reason he's got to go run a business right now is because
They have crazy hours,
extended
right?
well, and here's what I love about it is that the reason they extended their hours was it was internal before it was external. So the people that work there before guests, it was so all their guys could get full time. And
Right.
dude, they're booked. They're
Yeah.
booked solid.
yeah,
I mean,
dude, everybody's
like-
been growing like Sasquatch hair, so
I mean, I'm glad that I was a regular before the Rona.
yeah.
I mean, I got called before they opened. Like, hey, we're opening. Do you
Oh,
want an
that's really
appointment?
cool.
I was like,
Yeah.
first one. Yeah, is what I want. And then of course, Donald, the guy who I don't know what his exact title is. I just know that he takes my money and makes my appointments, and I want to keep him happy.
That guy.
And he's super awesome.
Yeah.
Super great guy. He's got me set up every single time I need to for the next 3, 4, 5 of them. And they do an amazing job. They have great guest relations, and your hair looks good when you leave. They can't do your beard right now, but nobody can.
True.
So, unless
Hey,
you're
you know what
in
I
the
saw on the-
speakeasy at barbershops.
Oh, sure. You know what I saw in the news though? They were highlighting some guy who like runs his own hair cutting place, and it looked like he was out of his house, like just a room of his house that he set up that way. I don't know who he is, but it shows him cutting hair and stuff, and he's got this probably 10-year-old kid in the chair and like pulls the mask down and exposes like the kid's nose, and this is all like happening on TV to like get around his ears and stuff. And I was like, really, you chose that shot?
Listen. Mike Pence's chief of staff has been diagnosed with coronavirus, and that guy walks around with no mask on. Like
Perfect.
Like and I mean, we're trying to figure out how Dr. Fauci or whatever his name is,
Fauci.
super smart dude.
Yeah.
Fauci, the guy that's been the advisor for like the last 17 presidents.
Tony Fauci.
Yeah. I mean, like he learned medicine from dinosaurs. Like
That's fact, by the way.
But he's quoting Abraham Lincoln because he was there. Um,
I like
I
where
mean, when
this is
he's like,
going.
I have to self quarantine because I got infected somehow, and I'm like, you can't figure out the chain. I can figure out the chain.
Right.
I can figure out the chain really quick. Mike Pence, that's who gave it to you. Like, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but hey, Vice President, you the one spreading the Rona. Like,
I like when people say I'm not trying to call anyone out. You're just calling someone out, you know?
why? That's like saying no offense and then saying something that's
Yeah.
going to offend somebody.
But I think it's even better because you're definitely not trying to call anyone out. You're just doing it, you know?
Well, it's truth.
Right. I'm on board.
Listen,
I
I
just
was in a
like
text message
diction.
conversation with somebody that doesn't like me,
Yeah.
and
Always
and
fun.
I had actually put no offense before I said something that was offensive, and this person said, "You said no offense," and then said something that offended me, and my response was, "Okay, I don't care that I offended you. I still know this is true." But boom, here we go, and I know she watches it, so cheers.
Uh-oh. It's a southern thing to say that I try not to say.
We're both Yankees,
Yeah.
so don't worry about
So
it.
that's
Like,
why, yeah. Okay. That's
Right.
why she caught on.
also, well, and I know that not everybody likes me, like Jonathan Darling, and he likes me not on the podcast. I will say that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe everything but the podcast. He's on board with Paul. I think the only people that don't like me now are just church people who got mad
Which
at me
I don't
for
understand. I don't understand. Why are they mad at you?
because I wrote a long Facebook post detailing how I was depressed working at a church and how I talked about it, and it was widely ignored. And I went to counseling for it.
Why is that? Why does that hurt people?
See, you're asking all the right questions. I think they're upset for being called out about it.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Instead of
I'm
me coming to them directly, but I was like, I tried to talk to you about it directly while I was on staff multiple times. So
yeah.
let's just move forward. And
Well,
their response was not an apology, at least not initially, which was also fun. So, wah, wah.
I mean, I
Church is tough.
I we can also talk about these things.
They're just people
People,
too. I get it.
no,
No
this isn't a
offense, by
church
the
thing.
way.
No offense. No offend on.
No
Um,
comma offense.
um, people, because you have association with them that think you are friends,
Mm-hmm.
but you are not, and they think that they can say things to you as a friend would, but if they really knew you, they would never say it to you.
Ooh, I don't have a whole lot of that. I'm interested to hear more about it
So we'll take yesterday.
because I know what you're talking about.
So yesterday, truck breaks down.
Yeah.
We're going to neighborhoods, and I had several people do this. So it wasn't just like I can say several people did it, so you don't know exactly who it is.
Okay.
But they said, "Is your truck really broken down?" And if you know me, in the 7 minutes that it's happened that I've canceled, now is not the time to talk to me about this. It is now. It is not because I'm still frustrated. I'm still in the middle of Hardin Valley, like trying to direct traffic around the truck, like to make sure that people aren't pulling up behind me to turn right to get on to Pellissippi.
Right. Right.
Like, it should have been like, man, do you need anything? Like, because there were people that knew about it that were like, hey, are you okay? Do you need me to come? Like,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah.
I know you're ticked off right now. I know you'll be fine in 10 minutes. Like, but in the immediacy, do you need anything? Do you need me to come?
Right. Right.
Right. It was, is your truck really broken down?
Why would you even say that?
Dude. My response was pretty good. So I sent videos.
Like what?
irritated voice.
How do you
Like
respond to that? Like you don't have to go into all the details, but but what's the response there?
complete
Or should we
sarcasm.
not? Okay. Yeah.
Complete sarcasm back. No, the truck is fine. I just didn't. I just wanted to make sure I didn't see you.
I love that.
Like things like that. Like
It
I mean,
it just baffles me. Like, do they think you're doing it for attention? Like, what's the point
well,
here?
this particular person does do a lot of things for attention, so I
So,
would assume that.
okay, that would
Well,
make sense. Maybe they're projecting what they would do onto you. I do a similar thing. I get it.
I love calling people out on projection because I know I do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Which led me to something else, and I can't remember what it was now. My brain
No.
just
Hey,
stopped.
what is your hat, by the way? I can kind of see it, but in the light. What does that say?
Food and Wine Festival,
Oh,
Epcot
cool.
Food and Wine Festival.
Cool, cool.
I'm missing Disney. Not gonna lie.
Still going as of right
the-
now, right?
As of right now, we're going.
Good to go.
As of right now, because if they open at 20% and they're sanitizing like crazy,
That's a
it's
good
the time
trip
to
right
go.
there. Heck
It's
yeah.
the time to go. I don't want to go in September when they open the floodgates and all their sanitation is. I'm not saying it's lax, but I'm saying, like, oh, do we really need to do this?
Yeah, I just think it's less possible to like sanitize all of it the way you would when it's 20%, you know?
Well, I'm going to say, like, as a child whose mother was a janitor for like 36 years, right? How appreciative are we of that right now?
Yeah, for real.
Like the hospital staff, that is the most, like, it's, I mean, I know some hospital executives, and they're like, the position that's been overlooked the most is the most important right now. Like, and that's sanitation and housekeeping, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. No one's saying take an IV. No one's saying get diagnosed. They're saying clean. That's which still, it's
We should've-
amazing
we
that we
should've
had
been doing.
What? Thank you for washing your hands
Right.
every 30 minutes as you serve a table. How about every time you touch a dirty dish? But we're not going there.
Let's make it a normal episode PSA. Just wash your hands when you touch something dirty. By the way, everything's dirty. Don't think too hard about it.
I will say this: my hands are getting very dry from the sanitizer.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been very mindful of being sure that I do it, and by mindful, I mean being reminded. So,
Oh,
I am
see.
not the germaphobe in the house. So,
Uh-huh.
I am not at all. How I mean, I am doing my part, like, but I have walked in the house and it's been like, "Did you wash your hands?" No. What? So, and but it's good because now it's causing a habit, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the I am clean, but I'm not the best at outside of the food truck making sure I wash my hands all the time.
Oh,
On the
gotcha.
truck, I'm completely like gloved up and washing and sanitizing, and I mean it's ridiculous how many times we wash our hands on that thing.
Yeah. We had a
And-
Deem
but-
on a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, and he and I we called each other one morning, and he had just gone grocery shopping and was like wiping everything down, and I was like, I get it. Like Lysol wipes on like any product that's,
Yeah.
not in a box that you're about to open, like it's got to be sanitized.
Well, and something that I don't think is talked about enough, and I'm not conspiracy theory or anything like that,
Right.
But what people that are saying this is no big deal. Hey, this is no big deal. This is no big deal. This is no big deal. Well, if somebody dies, it is a big deal, right? Like no one said that the World Trade Center was not a big deal. No one said that was not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yet way more people have died in this.
Yeah.
Like not just gotten sick, like died.
Like gone.
Like gone, like ain't coming back.
But
gone.
those are the same people who it won't be a big deal until there's death, right? Like for
do you
them
mean?
in their lives, like until
It's because it's not in Knox County is what it is. However, it's coming, bro. Like
the Tennessee numbers were like way up in the past couple days. I think it's because there's more testing, but
Yeah, but still, we've only tested 0.4% of the population.
Yeah.
However, I will say this: they did a story on Gatlinburg because Gatlinburg reopened.
Oh yeah.
32 states, people from 32 states, including New York and New Jersey. By
Oh
the
my
way,
gosh.
just throwing that out there.
All
New
right.
York and New
Never
Jersey.
mind. Not leaving the house ever again.
Like, like that's what. And I'm like, do you know where people stop before they go to Gal? I'm just letting you know. You know where they stop, right? They stopping at the Cracker Barrel at number 18 on Merchants Road. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so um, and I love Cracker Barrel, like straight up. But like, dude,
I've got beef
like
with Cracker Barrel. We can come back to that, but
you can talk
we
about the
got
beef with the
Okay.
barrel if you want to.
I've got beef overpriced for what you get.
Really?
Yes. Not a big fan. I mean,
Why
I
do you say that?
like the food. I really
What is overpriced?
everything.
What is overpriced? But why do
every
you think it's
single
overpriced?
every single dish just seems like too much for the amount that you get, and it's not. It is good. I really do like it, but it's
I
not
can
like
tell you how to make everything in
it's
that, and every single thing in that restaurant.
sure.
I can tell you how to make every single thing. But yeah, but why do you think it's overpriced?
I just don't think it's the appropriate price for the amount that you get.
Okay.
I think it should either be cheaper for the current dishes that they have. I'm holding Baby Yoda, by the way. I've been playing with this the whole time. Or give me more food.
Okay. So I will say this in
You're
a
not gonna
restaurant
change my mind.
generality.
No
in
offense.
a restaurant generality, there are plenty of people that say that. I could make this for cheaper at home. Yes, you could.
I'm not saying that, though. I mean, that's true,
Okay.
but I'm not saying
But that's
that.
that's the general reasoning
Sure,
behind
sure,
it. I
sure.
wouldn't pay for this in a grocery store. All right, cool. So we took away your grocery shopping, your planning, your cooking, you're bringing it to you.
And
You
that's
getting
what
up
we're
from a
paying
table.
for. Yeah, yeah.
You're getting up from a table and washing your dishes and resetting a dining room and all that. So we can go there if you want to. However,
I don't want. I'm just
I
kidding.
don't think that $8.99 is too much for a plate of chicken and two vegetables. It's not.
Oh, it's more than that for chicken and two veg.
Not a country plate.
Oh,
It's not.
okay.
It's
Okay.
it's $18.99 or
I don't
eight
like
ninety
the
nine.
country plate. Now we're just getting into
Okay,
my preference.
that's the smaller one. Okay, now and I will say this: the food on our food truck is more expensive than Cracker Barrel.
I also think it's better, though. I like it better.
But that's because you know me. I will say
don't-
it is better. It is so much better. So much.
I don't think it's just because I know you. I don't know how comfortable I would be telling you if
My-
I didn't think that, but that's just not reality. So it's hard for me to think about.
My favorite recipe in all of Cracker Barrel is the corn. I'm just letting you know that.
Just corn, straight up corn.
Okay. So it's
know if I've ever
12
had that.
pounds of frozen corn. 12 pounds of frozen corn.
Okay.
A gallon of liquid margarine
Oh my god.
and a cup of water.
Oh,
That's it.
I mean,
Bring it to a simmer for 2 minutes and put it in a pan.
let me be clear. That sounds delicious, but like I just imagined a milk carton, not carton, a plastic milk jug, gallon of margarine, and it just pouring out over some
Oh
frozen
no, that's
corn.
exactly what it is.
And
It
that,
is a
that kind of
gallon
grossed me
margarine.
out,
Um,
but it does sound delicious.
that is my favorite recipe of all time. Now, I will say this. I will say this. All the biscuits are made from scratch.
Yeah.
No, it's from a mix, and there's nothing wrong with mixes. But they do add, local buttermilk, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and by local, I probably mean Mayfield. It just depends on what area of the country you're in.
Right.
But also, little side note. You can only buy local buttermilk, by the way. You can only buy local milk. You cannot buy dairy products from California in Knoxville.
They don't have dairy in
It-
California. Nobody in
They
California
do.
has dairy anymore.
They're all paleo.
Yeah.
It's all right. Everybody in Colorado is doing isogenics. So, um,
And smoking weed.
But-
Smoking weed, that's genics.
but that's I don't know if you know that or not. Dairy can't be shipped too far away. There's like a certain radius.
I actually didn't know that.
what you-
I figured with like pasteurization and stuff you could, but why would you?
No, it's like super regulated, by the
Okay.
way.
That's
So,
cool. That's cool to know.
my back MacBook Pro has arrived from Apple Business. Oh, by the way,
You got a new MacBook Pro?
no, I did not. Hey,
Okay.
do you get scammers on your business? Like, do people try to scam you?
Actually, not yet.
So
Nothing's in the past year.
we get a lot of outside of Knoxville area codes
Hmm.
asking, like, so broken English, like if we can cater things and do we take credit cards and all that. And it
And
just so
they,
happened to be on they asked for a day that we were, because I go back and forth with them. I mean, truck's broken down. I'm not doing anything.
oh
Let's
yeah.
talk. Um, and I asked what day, and he was like June 13th. And I was like, well, ironically, we were busy that day. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Also, I haven't talked to you in person. Like, I want to talk to you on the phone.
Right. Would they do it? Do they make excuses for like? I mean, do they
I
not
had
have a
one that was
phone?
I had one that was the best excuse ever, and they did not appreciate it at all. But then he asked me if I could refer somebody, and I said I'm not going to refer you to anybody, so you can try to scam one of my friends too. And then their Google number went away.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Classic.
no, I had somebody tell me that they were deaf and felt really uncomfortable speaking on the phone through an interpreting service. To which my response was, no problem. My mother's deaf. I'm fluent in sign language.
Let's go video.
You can just video chat me and we can get around this. And they did not do that at all. I have, however, had a real one where they have said, hey, I would prefer not to talk about my credit card information through an interpreter. So, but I'm not going to be there for another week and a half, so on and so forth. And I'm trying to get things set up. And this is when I was working in corporate. And I was like, hey, no problem. We can do a video chat. It was right when Skype was starting to get big. And it was
gotcha.
about 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that is wonderful. Please give me your information.
Right.
So we set up and we sat there and talked over the phone, like had a video conversation, which was really cool. But I have definitely, so I didn't know if like that worked with you all. Like, hey, can I book band? Can I book band? Do you credit card take?
I've just never been. Well, that's not true. I was gonna say I've never been in a band that had like a page with all our contact information. I was just never that person, so it never would have gone through me.
But we get like I'm like, dude, if you're gonna scam me, at least try to make it reasonable. Like, we have people ask us if we can do like 2,200 people for a wedding,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and my response is, you realize we're a food truck. Send. I mean, like, nah, we'll pass. Like, we're good. Like,
Dang.
I just didn't know if you experienced that or not.
No, I've definitely had some scammers on like my just normal email account, and I never respond to them. But I did see, was it a TED Talk? It was something like that where a guy responds to a scammer, and it goes on for like weeks and weeks.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Where the apartment.
Yep.
Where and he's like, no, the plan is to take out the window.
Right. If you haven't seen that, just go Google. Was it a TED Talk? What was it?
No, I think it was a comedy stand-up. It could have been on a TED Talk. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a motivational speaker as well.
Right.
But
right.
he's funny. But he uses it to talk about giving people a chance to talk, ironically.
Yeah, that's cool. Even scammers, they have their place, I guess.
Well, I call numbers back. Like,
right.
I just flat call. And what they do is they pirate numbers. And I end up on the phone with some very wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I got scammed for a credit card thing, or tried to attempting, and I called back and they had pirated the actual phone number of Capital One.
Dang.
So you thought it was
stuff.
really Capital One.
Yeah.
And no, we just don't have credit cards. So, I had a guy tell me he was going to ruin my credit one time. He was like, I'm going to ruin your credit if you don't pay this $450 off. And I'm like, sir, I've never had a credit card. I don't know how else to tell you this. I don't have one. So I'm not going to pay you to do it.
Was it a real actual person? Like, what did they
Yeah.
say at that point?
Like, and they were like, well, according to this, you do. And then US code and just started like spouting out numbers. And I'm like, and I was on the phone, and shockingly enough, he was like, we're going to come arrest you. And I'm like, dude, go ahead and send them. They know who I am by name. Like,
It's just
they hung up real quick.
I know this is probably wrong in some way, but it's really fun to me to think that there are people out there trying to make a living just doing that. I mean, it also sucks because I know people fall for it, and tragic.
My
Whatever.
mother almost fell for it. My mother was about to wire $5,000
Oh my
to
God.
London. She got an email in
Did they think it
broken
was
English.
you?
100%.
Yeah.
Somebody had hacked my computer, shut down my phone, my computer, everything.
Whoa.
Right? And anything that I had talked financially with anybody, they sent them the same email, which was, I'm in jail in London. I didn't tell you I was going. Okay. All of these are possibilities, by the way.
Right.
I need you to know this, right? I didn't tell you I was going on a trip. I just up and went. It was in my single no kid days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in jail. I didn't do it. I need $5,000 wired so I can be bailed out of jail, right? And I'm driving to Michigan from Tennessee.
Right.
And I pulled over in a random gas station that had like a Dairy Queen because I was looking for an AT&T store to fix my phone, right? Because if
Okay.
I'm driving, I need to fix my phone. And in that gas station were two of my aunts and my uncle having lunch.
Because she was really good.
I'm like,
What's that?
what happened?
I don't know. You were talking and then you stopped, and I heard something. Everything good?
Ready to go to lunch? And she's like, no, Mom, I just want to go home.
What is that?
I don't
Ready
know.
to go to lunch? And she's like, no, Mom, I just want to go home. And I said, what's wrong? Are you in pain? And she said, Mom, I just want to go home.
Is that from your TV or something? Are you there?
Hey, are you there?
Yeah.
I don't want to share screen. Sorry. I was, I don't know what YouTube channel I had gone down a rabbit hole, but I was watching sentencing hearings.
Nice. It's like, dude, I don't know. Like, did someone just call you? Someone in trouble?
No. So I pull over, random gas station.
Okay.
Two of my aunts and an uncle are there having lunch, right? And they're like, oh, you're okay and you're not in England. And I'm like, no. Like, why would I be in England? Your mother said you went to London. Now, and I'm not all about communication with my parents. I need you to know that. Like, I would just do things and not worry about it,
Okay.
right? But if I was going out of the country, I'd probably tell somebody.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to go out of the country. But because it was broken English and my mom is deaf and they write in broken English, I should read you some of the Facebook gold that she puts out on the internet because it's deaf talk and it's hilarious, right? Now, and I know what it is because she's signing, but if you put it into, common American English, that's it just looks funny. So my aunt she's on the phone through a video relay service. So it's somebody you talk to and they sign to my mother. And my mom is at the Western Union to wire money. Like to wire $5,000. And she's like, no, Paul's here. He's not in London. And she's like, I don't know who you're talking to, but it's not Paul. He's in jail and he needs our help.
Oh my God.
Can you help him? He didn't do it. And my aunt, I remember her going, well, he's not in jail. He's right in front of me. I promise you, video chat my phone. It was like iPhone, the first one, right? Where
Yeah.
it was still real bad.
Yeah, because how many
She
years
said-
ago is this? Like 13,
Long
14?
time. Not
that long.
Yeah, 12,
12?
12,
Okay.
13
Okay.
ago. Yeah. Um, so it wasn't iPhone days because, yeah. No,
I
it
think
was the first
the
iPhone.
one, yeah, the one would have been out.
I didn't have an iPhone.
Okay.
I did not own one. I know that. So I had a flip phone up until like the last phone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, and my aunt said, and even if he was in jail, he probably did it. Just leave him there. And I'm like, what? What, lady?
Incredible.
Like, no. So I wasn't in jail in England. I was clearly in the States, as they say.
Yeah. As they say in
And
England.
it was just funny that I legitimately was at, I mean, like I pulled into the gas station that my Aunt Janice, Uncle Gail, and Aunt Nadine just happened to be eating at. And I'm pretty sure it was a Dairy Queen. I'm not really sure. It's Corbin, Kentucky. Anybody knows it. I mean, it was hilarious at the end of it. Took me 2 hours to get my phone turned back on. That was the fun part.
Nice. Sounds terrible.
So I also got lost in Michigan. I just need you to know that. I got lost because if you go back and Google, it was either 7 or 9 mile bridge caught on fire because a tanker blew up underneath it and caught the bridge on fire.
Holy crap.
So they routed people around. And I didn't have a GPS or an iPhone with a map system on it, but I was like, I'll just get over here. I know which way is north. I'll just keep driving around it,
keep good
kind
this
of
way.
thing. And no,
Didn't work
it
out.
was epic failure. Epic failure.
I'll tell this story later because we're running out of time here, but I got lost trying to come back from a Cutco convention one time. Let's say
Do you
that.
legitimately still sell Cutco?
No. No.
Okay. I
I
really
think I
thought somebody-
could. I don't know how much work I would have to do to get back to that point, but I don't think it would be very hard. But
I need you to do a YouTube series on how to sell Cutco. I think it would be.
I really
gold.
should do it on like from zero. Like, how do you get certified? It's not even certified, you know. It's just being a sole proprietor or whatever. So, as far as I know, I am still on their list of people somewhere as a sole proprietor who can sell Cutco, unless they drop people off of it after a certain amount of time. So
Why are you trying to trigger me this morning?
anyway, I used to run my own business, and that's all the time we have for 8 a.m. coffee. But I'll tell that story on Friday for sure. Yeah, thanks for joining us. You can check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/8amcoffee. And anything that you give to us to support us there, there's some fun things that we will do. Mostly Paul will make a TikTok dancing video, and then half of it will go to Second Harvest Food Bank to support families and give them a few meals. So, all right. We'll see you on Friday.
I'm doing my drum fingers for you.
That's pretty good drum fingers.